Oh, yeah, Kenneth, thank you. I'm working on coffee farming currently, the one that we did for the farming by satellite. Can I share my screen, Kenneth? Because I quickly have a question, though I don't see Boana today.
Okay. Yes, please.
Okay. Um, just a minute. So I was able to do in Murang'a County still quite a big coverage of an area, but necessitates like where we collected the polygons for coffee farming in Murang'a County. And so using the vegetation phenology notebook that was given to us last week, I think during the webinar session, I was able to conduct the analysis and the results were quite well because now this is a bigger area. However, I just had some few questions because especially in the interpolation part, if there were notes that could be given to us on the two interpolation methods that were used by Boana, because this is how the zonal mean over the same period 2018 occurred. However, when I used the interpolated for both, I think it was XRA and for fast completion, I just needed to have understood if there were any notes that we can read on about them to just understand why we can use, why which one is preferred better than the other one. And then another part, I liked how the rolling mean vegetation series was, it at least it was consistent. It was in the part of calculating the phenology statistics, in an in-depth understanding apart from the start, peak, and end of the season in terms of what do we know when we say minimum value of the season, what does it mean, so that it can be able to enable us to understand as we apply for this various statistical method, which is preferable in the kind of study that one is doing. I think for me that was all, but generally I got good results about it, especially because now this enabled me to cover the whole area and like just one particular farm in Murang'a in general. Yeah. So that was how far I have reached so far, but it's a good notebook. Yeah. Oh,
Thank you
and
so much,
last but
Stella.
not
Yes.
least, just one question. Now, I realized in this notebook when we are importing vegetation indices, we are only doing NDVI and EVI. How are we able to do if we are doing wetlands mapping or other types of, to import other vegetation indices apart from this? Is there a way we can be taught on that so that it can be very helpful? Yeah.
Thank you, Stella. I don't know where to start. First question was the issue of providing more metadata on the methodology. We'll be able to
Yes.
provide that information, and these series are based on some publications which were generated. It's
Okay.
also close to what GeoClam has done, especially on the point of end of season and planting season. Also, looking
Yes.
at the two curves, they're not far apart. It's just that the other one is a little bit smooth. Then I
Yes.
wish
Yes.
to look at the 2018 is between the month of February, March, and April. These are like
April.
a decline, which
Yes.
could be interpreted more from the ground information that you collect from the farmers, where the farmers
Okay.
maybe cleared the coffee
Mm.
pruning, or maybe there was some harvesting. So there is also that ground information which helps. Also,
Okay.
we have another data from the chaps. This is the weather data, which can give you more data. I think I can share with you the link, which can show the
Okay.
correlation with high rainfall, high yields, something like that. And also,
Okay.
Goose has something that he wants to add right now.
So just real
Yes.
quick, Stella, you might want to just go back and look at the RGB image for I think March 2018, a little bit after March 2018, to see
Mm-hmm.
that maybe it was just an overly cloudy day and all that the analysis really data was able to load was a small patch of land, right?
Okay.
So you
Yes.
may
Yes.
be missing a lot of data from that date.
Okay. Okay.
Here's the
That's.
result.
I'll try a different season and variation. Then maybe next week I can be able to share on how far I've gone with it.
Uh, I always like to do a sanity check. Like, is this, if I see something that's really off scale, it's usually
Mm-hmm.
not environmental. It's usually like there is some data missing.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Yep.
So Stella, I've shared the link with the visualization of the data on the chart.
Okay. Oh,
And
thank you.
if I can just open it for the sake of everyone, it's that we can also learn something.
Okay.
So for this example, since you're working in various countries, you choose from this link, and this was Kenya, and the admin will be Central. And now, more specifically, your area is between Murang'a and Thika. Then I can go specifically to 2018.
Okay.
And I can try to see the correlation of your graph. So the first part is rainfall. Then there's a graph which combines NDVI and rainfall. So it gives you an idea why we have a slow peak around that time, March and April. So this can explain a lot. You remember every time we used to wait for Easter, either it rains or not rains, and in the last few years it has been different, depending on what time Easter used to come. So it seems like our short rains somehow are delayed.
Okay.
Some might even come in January, like the January of 2017, where it was very interesting that you have extreme rainfall in January, which is not the norm. So I'm just giving you the options of we look at the results with the weather data. Then also the other exciting work that you've done at Geo M&E with the various farmers to help us in getting the validation.
Oh yeah, especially on this one we did on, it was in Djibouti that we did the analysis on mangrove cover. Yeah, it can also be quite interesting.
Yes, they have all the data sets for the world, even as far as Cambodia. I know you guys have various projects, which would be very nice for us to explore.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much also, Stella, for the presentation of your work, and also we're looking forward to hear from you in the next 1 or 2 on the capacity development webinar. I wish also to ask our very own first time this year, Mohammed Shibia from NRT, to greet us and tell us about his experience with the Africa. Karibu sana, Shibia.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, I have not really started working on any case study, but initially I've started off. So I have what I want to do with the platform that is there, and so it is my first time, and so. But since I've interacted with the notebooks, and so I have a very good experience. But then maybe probably if you can allow me, I can just verbally mention what exactly I want to do. Or maybe you can guide me, Kenneth, what exactly probably you expect me to say.
Yes, continue, Mohammed.
Right. I work in northern Kenya with a local organization called Northern Rangeland Trust. In short, it's just NRT. It is a conservation agency, and so we have communities that have reorganized themselves and to take care of their land potential, and so we support them, and we support them with the right technical know-how and other resources that they would require. And we cover almost within Kenya, but the northern part, that is, and then there's a southwest up to West Pokot and the coast region. So I am actually I'm working in areas which are predominantly rangelands, and I'm working with herding communities, pastoralists. So within the conservancy, they have a governance structure which is very responsible for the decision making. And so key decision that we work on is to look at improvement in terms of the land potential, and also guide their decision when it comes to where to graze their animals and when. And so the ultimate goal at the end of the day is trying to balance the feed requirement between the wildlife and domestic livestock, or the domestic animals. So what I want to do here is we have partitioned the better or the larger part of the northern Kenya into the various grazing blocks. So just with this, my initial point of entry is just to look at using the phenology notebook to look at various information that we can generate using the notebook, particularly the phenology for now, and then establish the potential of the grazing blocks and advise pastoralist population and other agencies working in the region, including the county government and national government. Yes, in brief, that is actually what I have in mind. And hopefully in the next 1 week, probably 2 weeks, I will be able to give a very concrete presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Also, kind of work you're doing is similar to what possibly IFAD is doing in terms of helping the guys in the rural areas. But now your case is a little bit interesting. There's wildlife, there's also domestic animals, and there's the people, and the resource is the food. So in a nutshell, the kind of work you worked on, you are looking at some kind of vegetation indices around the area, having a time series trend to see areas where there's stress, and also to try to, just like the example which was presented by Stella, to see how the trend is, and most likely even advise the conservancies where they can actually focus on. I remember the kind of work you do is similar to my visit to Nasul previously, some 2-3 years ago, where even we went to as much as North Hor. I could see the situation is that in Isiolo, it's more organized now. The communities are now in conservancies trying to help with the conflict management. So there's also need for remote sensing to give you this assessment. And in Africa, we have much better tools like the vegetation phenology. There's also the vegetation change and also the crop health, which you can actually even use and see how things are looking at. But the vegetation change will be more interesting to show the trend. And now in Africa, we have Sentinel-2 data, which will be of value to the kind of work. I know you worked with 30 meters Landsat. Now with the Sentinel-2, we have a 10-meter resolution, or even you can change that. And I remember you have some shapers which you can share with us, and we see how we can tweak them and be able to overlay them, and we can focus on some areas. So using the shapers you had, I think there were like 5 or something conservancies where we could actually see the more favorable areas in terms of your planning. So you're kind of in management of a conservancy, so you could focus and see, oh, this conservancy is actually very green at this point, so the focus is this area, as the other side is being rehabilitated, because also the conservancy, we have to take care of the changes in vegetation. So there's this process, and also the process of vegetation growth and changes. It's also an aspect of months. So at a conservancy, I know there's this month, there's these animals allowed, or these communities at the nutshell, just to create this harmony among the people and the animals.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Yeah. Nasul is one of them and all their neighbors.
Yes. So also it will be interesting to bring Ogus to see the kind of animals we have and also other friends that we have after things clear out, and have some field work and see the great work that we've done. I was able even to go through the park in Isiolo, navigating through, it was a rainy season where you were told don't drive in this bridge, be washed. But the beauty of it is the harmony, the community is involved. We speak different languages, but we speak peace. So this was very nice to see and the kind of work you're doing. Thank you so much, Mohamed Shadia. Also joined in this call, I have Kairia from Zanzibar. Please greet us and tell us about experience with the Africa. Mwalim.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ken. For today, I don't have any news. So just looking to hear and getting skills from this precious team of growth.
Thank you so much, Karia. I think you mentioned you are on season, or your students are looking at the training materials.
Yeah, but they are not yet done this one because, but they told me they will do that, but they didn't finish this one. But I have already talked to them.
Okay. Thank you so much. We're also joined by your colleague, Mossad Hamad. Please greet us and tell us about experience with the Africa.
Hello, Dr. Ken. Since the last training, I didn't do anything. I was not very good. I had some health issues, not corona, but not something else happening to me. That's why I didn't do anything. Just I'm following these lectures for today, but maybe I'll continue from the next week, inshallah.
Pole sana ndugu yangu, inshallah mambo itakuwa mazuri.
Asante sana. Asante sana.
Okay. From West, I have Sir Wallace himself, Chief of Tamale. Please greet us and tell us about experience with the Africa.
Good morning and good afternoon to all, and Happy New Year. Basically, I haven't been up to task lately because of some family ties which I had. So I'm looking forward to get some work on the role as time goes on. Probably by next 2 weeks, I'll give a presentation as to what I've started looking at with the help of Edward, and we'll see what we can come out with. Basically on vegetation.
Thank you so much, Wallace. This will be vegetation detection in Tamale area or no upper region.
We are looking at the upper region where the country depend on much for cereals.
Okay, and also for the information is that Wallace works with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. The name still remains the same?
Yeah, it still remains the same. I'm with the Statistics Research Information Directorate under Ministry of Food and Agri.
Thank you so much, Wallace. Looking forward to hearing from you in the next meeting. Since you are coming now, more Ghanaians will join us because they've been also absent.
Yeah. Basically, we have most of our teams on the population census program. Currently, there's a workshop going on which we have most of our members who joined before we came on a break from last year. So as time goes on, they will be joining.
Thank you so much, Wallace, and also wishing you all the best with the population census. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are also joined by Musa Josiah from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Please greet us and tell us about the experience with the Africa. Musa. Okay.
Hello, Dr. Ken. How are you?
Yes, karibu sana.
Okay, asante. My name is Mr. Musa Josiah, coming from Tanzania, Dar es. I have been participating several sessions based on this platform, Dig to Earth Africa, and fortunately, I completed all the sessions and I was awarded a certificate. That is the good news. but I'm representing Tanzania Data Lab. We are still using this platform to see how can we apply the knowledge and the skills that have been acquired through different sessions. And at the end of the day, we are expecting to have different use cases, which shows the power and the significance of the digital East Africa through using this satellite data. That is our objectives. We are planning to come with different use cases based on our country context, and we'll be presenting to you, and it will be good to share these use cases. That is enough to us, but we are still using this, and as you can see, up to this moment now, we are joining to the aiming to acquire more and more. So I would like to appreciate Dr. Ken. Thank you a lot.
Even the chicken agrees, so it's good times ahead. Thank you so much.
The cats have opinions about that.
Okay, the cat feels bad. Okay.
The cats here would like to meet that chicken.
Okay, so who has the chicken in the background? Okay, I know it's personal, sorry. We're also joined by HP. I think this address is from Sierra Leone. Otherwise, we're also joined by Shali. Are you calling from which country? Sir Shali? Oh, madam. So in a nutshell, we've been able to hear more about the overview of the DE Africa, and also some of us are still looking at the training materials. And from the training materials, we'll go straight ahead to some of the use cases. And these will give you an opportunity for us to interact more in terms of the material and how we can improve it, and the use cases that you would like to develop. I also want to show you the new DE Africa website, just to see how it looks. So we've made it possible now that you can look at the access to the platform, and I wish to draw you to the media center where we have the blogs. And in these particular blogs, this is where we'll be able to work with you to develop very nice stories. You can see the first one is Stella, describing about her story with the coffee farming. Also, the second one is by a colleague from Kenya, Stephen Correll, working on food security. Also, the third one is also the same. So this means that the process that you're following is that we are working closely with you to be able to see how we can support each other and make sure no one is left behind. And this will be the ultimate goal. So I think someone wanted to give us some feedback. This is Charlie or HP. Is this James Meadow from Sierra Leone? Okay, so does any one of you have any questions for us? I know, Gus, we can plan for the next session where we can present some use case or something.
If you guys are ready, we can definitely do that. How about maybe urbanization?
I think that would be very useful in the context of the big cities like Musa in Dar es Salaam. There's a lot of demand for you to respond. Also, Zanzibar is growing very fast, and I believe also Ghana, Accra, Kumasi, and also many more. The discussions we are having are driven by your demands, so this will be a nice time for you to tell us the kind of topics you'd like to hear more about. So this is the opportunity to tell us and give us feedback. Yes, Wallace. Yes, please.
I would like to hear more about the vegetation and then the urbanization, as Ogo said.
That one is noted. Thank you so much, Wallace. Any other addition? I know Shibia will be interested in the vegetation change as well in the conservancies. Be good to see how we can work with you that remotely as you pursue the training materials. Any other updates? If your computer is Charlie or HP, this is your time to greet us. You've been very quiet. So any other feedback from any of us? Ogus, at least you've heard about the thematic areas.
What was that, Kenneth? I'm sorry.
At least you've heard about the thematic areas like vegetation change and the urbanization.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of vegetation change, which I will note. Oh, Kenneth, we have the help desk set up. I think Josh emailed you 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock next Monday. Does that work for you?
Yes, next Monday.
Now it is 2:34 your time, right? We're in the same exact time zone.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we'll do 5 o'clock.
Hey guys.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, Bash.
Sorry I interrupted you guys. Maybe on the topic that I would like to hear, I do not know whether the portal supports Sentinel-1, but I would be interested in urbanization, especially in regards to deformation. Let's say maybe due to uptake of groundwater. I tend to think that when there is a lot of drilling of boreholes, there would be some extent of deformations. So maybe groundwater relationship between groundwater uptake as a result of population pressure, which might lead to, let's say, sinking of the earth surface. So maybe that could also be a topic.
I will note that because I am suffering from that. As we speak, I live right by a river delta. And ever since they built 3 shopping centers in my neighborhood, we get like 3 huge floods every year where I had to wade through waist deep water and escape the, escape with the car from the flood if I can. So that's a very good topic.
Collins, would you by any chance have studied geodesy?
Geoinformation, but I have some little information about it. I could also do some research on it. Yeah.
Okay, because it's more tied to that and the 3D stuff and bringing out the deformation monitoring like at less than a centimeter at centimeter level. But this is a very interesting topic for us. Thank you so much, Collins.
You're welcome, Paul. Thank you.
Bashiru, would you wish to greet us?
Yeah, hello, Chen.
Yes, welcome, sir. How are you now?
I'm fine, and you?
We are well. We wish to hear more from you about your training and also the use cases you want to work on.
I think just like I told you last time, I have a bit of problem with Digital Earth Africa. Just like it's not like what we are doing in the ARDC. I think with the ARDC, you can remember the last time when we did our training. Of course, we were able to perform so many use cases, from urbanization to land to forest cover and the likes. But I am finding difficult to use the Digital Earth Africa, especially the sandbox, because you know it's in the sandbox that you do the the necessary codes, you edit codes, and you run the sandbox. But it's I'm not getting it right since I started using it. Because for the use case, I would have loved to look at forest cover and the mangroves. You understand? But I have a bit of problem with the Africa. Not like the digital, not like the ARDC.
I think with the RDCs that we had a lot of time with you guys to do the face-to-face training. So I'm looking
Yes,
at
yes, the use cases, yes, yeah.
Yeah. It's a challenge of moving from virtual.
But basically, I think basically I'll try to, because now that I saw in your last email and from the WhatsApp group that you have made some updates on Digital Health Africa, I'll try again and see what the new update brings for us. You understand? But basically, that's my challenge with Digital Health Africa. And I'll try it again and see.
Thank you very much, Bashiro. We'll make sure that you're not left behind in terms of following up remotely with you.
Yeah, sure. Because I have not been following, not all trainings. You know, sometimes, some Wednesdays, I'll be out. You understand?
Yeah.
I'll be out, and that's why most times I do miss trainings. But I'll try to catch up now. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bashiro. I know with the face-to-face it was possible through thanks to
Commissioner. Yeah, sure. With the face-to-face it was easy for us.
Yeah. So this is something we can see how we can support you, including Ogu's traveling to Sierra Leone with his pet.
She would like to talk to see the animals.
Yeah.
Come again, Bruce.
I'm saying we'll explore how to support you more in terms of remotely.
All right. Okay. I'll appreciate it so much.
Yeah, I really would like to come and see the parks.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of Africa now from the sky, and I would really like to see it from the ground.
Yep.
But especially the Senegalese coast looks amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
welcome
only amazing
to Ghana.
if you fly from Sierra Leone to Senegal, you'll appreciate. So thank you very much, Bashiro. Your point is noted. We'll work on how to support you more. Thank you so much. So anyone else with any feedback or comment to add? And also thank you very much, Stella, for the presentation that you prepared for next week on urbanization in Dar es Salaam. Thank you so much, Stella. So there was someone called Shali. We are not able to hear you. Maybe next time we'll be able to hear you in the next meeting. Otherwise, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for today's session. So our talking points will be to see how we can hear more from each one of us in terms of the use cases. We are working on the training. Some of us have completed, so we'll be able to follow up on where you're stuck and give you the support and also presenting the blogs together with you so that we can co-create very nice use cases for yourself and your organization.
Kenneth, one more thing. We had a presentation on digital elevation models. If there is interest, we could probably do that again if there are people who haven't seen that and who are interested in seeing that.
Yeah, I think that one would be nice, at least to get a recap on some issues, like the digital elevation models, so that we can get a recap on those issues.
Thank you. That can be the week after that.
Yep. So any other person before we wind up for today's session? And I'm also very grateful that you've been able to have some time for this meeting today. Many online meetings. And thank you so much for keeping the live sessions live. And also in a few minutes, we'll be having the webinar on the capacity development. I believe you saw the announcement somewhere. Would that be the case? Maybe some of you didn't get it. I normally update the WhatsApp group, and I believe you received all the materials. So any questions for today's session that we meet next week? Or we meet in the next 1 hour or so for the other meeting, the D Africa Capacity Development, which will be very nice because Stella will be presenting her work on the Farming Prize. You're also welcome. Put the details on the webinar, the chat.
Kenneth, is that going to be recorded?
Yes.
I would love to come, but I have a class I need to be teaching.
Okay. So we'll see how the recording can be shared by everyone. Thank you so much.